Namaste dosto, and welcome to a journey that I've been wanting to take with all of you for a very long time. Today, we're not just looking at old buildings, we're stepping into a time machine, traveling back through the centuries to explore the very soul of our incredible nation, Bharat. We're going to walk through the corridors of power, stand in the shadows of emperors, feel the echoes of ancient prayers, and uncover the stories etched in stone. These monuments are not just tourist spots, my friends. They are the physical manifestations of our rich, complex, and deeply spiritual history. They are living textbooks that tell us who we were, and in doing so, help us understand who we are today. Each pillar, each dome, each carving holds within it a universe of stories, tales of love, war, devotion, and political ambition. This is where India's cultural, architectural, and political heritage comes alive. We're going to peel back the layers of time to understand the why behind these magnificent structures. Why was the Taj Mahal built? What secrets do the caves of Ajanta and Ellora hold? What cosmic energy still vibrates in the ruins of Hampi? These are the questions we'll explore together, diving deep into the spiritual and historical context that shaped our land. So, I invite you to open your minds and your hearts. Forget the history you learned in school. Today we experience it. Join me, Adil, as we embark on this epic exploration of India's most iconic monuments. Let's travel through time together, uncover the hidden narratives, and connect with the profound legacy of our ancestors. This is more than a video. It's a pilgrimage into our shared past. Let's begin this incredible journey. Dosto, our first stop is a place that needs no introduction, yet its story is so much deeper than you can imagine. The Taj Mahal. For many, it's just a beautiful building, a postcard picture, but I want you to feel its energy. This isn't just marble and minarets. This is a testament to a love so profound it sought to defy death itself. It was built by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan, a man of immense power, for his beloved wife, Mumtaz Mahal. She was his companion, his advisor, his everything. When she died, a part of him died with her. And from that grief, this masterpiece was born. Imagine, my friends, the sheer scale of this undertaking in the 17th century. It took over 20,000 artisans more than 2 decades to complete. They brought in marble from Makrana in Rajasthan, jade from China, turquoise from Tibet, and sapphire from Sri Lanka. The Taj Mahal is a global collaboration of artistry, a symphony in white marble. The architectural style, a pinnacle of Mughal design, is a perfect blend of Persian, Islamic, and Indian influences. Every element, from the grand dome to the 4 minarets leaning slightly outwards so they wouldn't fall on the main tomb in an earthquake, was meticulously planned. But the real magic, Dosto, is in the details. The intricate pietra dura inlay work, where semi-precious stones are carved and fitted into the marble to create flowing floral patterns, is breathtaking. As the sun moves across the sky, the Taj seems to change its color, reflecting the different moods of the day. It's pinkish in the morning, milky white in the evening, and golden when the moon shines. It's almost as if the monument is alive, breathing and feeling. It is said that Shah Jahan intended to build a black marble replica for himself across the river, a symbol of his own sorrow mirroring her beauty. Think about the spiritual dimension. The calligraphy that adorns the grand arches are verses from the Holy Quran, chosen specifically to speak of paradise and divine judgment. It was designed not just as a tomb, but as a representation of Mumtaz Mahal's heavenly abode on earth. It's a physical prayer, a monument meant to elevate the soul. When you stand there, try to block out the noise. Feel the silence, the history, the immense weight of love and loss that permeates the air. It's an experience that can genuinely change your perspective on life and love. So, the next time you see a picture of the Taj Mahal, don't just see a beautiful building. See the story of a heartbroken emperor. See the sweat and skill of 20,000 artisans. See a symbol of India's syncretic culture, a fusion of artistic traditions that created something the world had never seen before. It truly is, as the poet Rabindranath Tagore described it, a teardrop on the cheek of time. It's a place of immense power, beauty, and a story that will echo for eternity. Friends, from a monument of love, we now travel to a monument of power, of victory. The Qutub Minar in Delhi. Standing here, craning your neck to see the top, you can't help but feel small. This isn't just a tower, it's a statement. It's a 73-meter-tall declaration of a new era beginning in India. Its construction was started in 1193 by Qutb-ud-Din Aibak, the first ruler of the Delhi Sultanate, to mark the beginning of Muslim rule in India after defeating the last Hindu kingdom in Delhi. It is, in essence, a victory tower, a symbol of a massive shift in the subcontinent's political and cultural landscape. The architecture itself tells a fascinating story of transition. The first 3 stories are made of red sandstone, with intricate carvings and verses from the Quran. You can see the distinct Indo-Islamic style developing right here. The later stories, added by subsequent rulers like Iltutmish and Firoz Shah Tughlaq, use marble and sandstone and have a different stylistic feel. This tower is not the work of one man, but a project that spanned generations of rulers, each adding their own chapter to this vertical timeline of stone. It's the tallest brick minaret in the world, a true engineering marvel of its time. But dosto, the story gets even more interesting when you look around the complex. The Qutub Minar stands in the ruins of the Lal Kot, the Red Citadel. The builders of the Minar actually used materials from 27 demolished Hindu and Jain temples to construct the Quwwat-ul-Islam mosque at its base. You can literally see pillars with defaced Hindu motifs and deities right next to Islamic calligraphy. It's a stark, powerful, and somewhat uncomfortable reminder of the complex and often brutal nature of history. It's a physical representation of one culture being built, quite literally, upon the ruins of another. Let's talk about the mysterious iron pillar standing in the courtyard of the mosque. This pillar, dosto, is an ancient enigma. It dates back to the 4th century, to the time of Chandragupta II, long before the Minar was even conceived. What's baffling to scientists even today is its composition. It's made of 98% wrought iron, yet it has stood for over 1600 years without rusting. How did ancient Indian metallurgists achieve this feat? It's a testament to the incredible scientific knowledge of our ancestors, a piece of ancient technology that still holds its secrets. So when you visit the Qutub Minar, you're standing at a crossroads of history. You have the towering symbol of the Delhi Sultanate's arrival, the remnants of the Hindu kingdoms that preceded it, and a scientific marvel from an even more ancient past all in one place. It's a complex, multi-layered site that forces you to think about the nature of power, conquest, and the incredible resilience of culture and knowledge through the ages. It's a raw, unfiltered chapter of India's history, written in stone and iron. Dosto, we now move to a place that was the very heart of the Mughal Empire for 200 years, and today is the symbol of India's sovereign spirit, Lal Kila, the Red Fort. When you walk through its massive Lahori gate, you're not just entering a fort, you're entering the capital of one of the world's richest empires. Commissioned by Shah Jahan in 1639 when he decided to shift his capital from Agra to the newly built city of Shah Jahanabad, which we now call Old Delhi. This was the epicenter of Mughal power, a city within a city. The sheer scale of the Red Fort is mind-boggling. It was designed to be a miniature paradise on earth with magnificent halls, lush gardens with water channels known as the Nar-e-Bihisht, or Stream of Paradise, and opulent private apartments. Imagine the Diwani-Am, the hall of public audience, where the emperor would sit on his throne and listen to the grievances of his subjects. Then there's the Diwan-e-Khas, the hall of private audience, a place of stunning beauty where the famous peacock throne once stood. It was here that the inscription reads, "If there is a paradise on earth, it is this, it is this, it is this." But friends, the Red Fort has also been a silent witness to the decline and fall of the Mughal Empire. It saw the invasion of Nader Shah, who looted the city and took the peacock throne. It saw the final, tragic days of the last Mughal emperor, Bahadur Shah Zafar, who was tried for treason within these very walls by the British after the revolt of 1857. The British Army occupied the fort, demolished many of its beautiful structures, and built stark military barracks in their place. The fort carries the scars of this history. It's a place of both immense glory and profound sorrow. This brings us to its modern significance. The Red Fort is inextricably linked to India's freedom struggle. On August 15, 1947, India's first Prime Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru, hoisted the tricolour from its ramparts and delivered his historic tryst with destiny speech. This tradition continues to this day. Every Independence Day, the Prime Minister of India addresses the nation from here. The fort has transformed from a symbol of imperial Mughal power to a symbol of a free and democratic India. It's a powerful transition, a reclamation of our own history. So, when you visit the Red Fort, try to look beyond the crowds and the stone walls. Imagine the grandeur of the Mughal court, the sound of the fountains, the rustle of silk curtains. but also feel the echoes of the empire's tragic end and the powerful, hopeful energy of India's independence. It's a place where the past and present converge in a very powerful way. It's not just a monument, it's the stage upon which much of India's destiny, both Mughal and modern, has been played out. Friends, our next destination is one of the most hauntingly beautiful and mysterious places in India, Fatehpur Sikri, the city of victory. This was the short-lived capital of the Mughal Empire under the great Emperor Akbar from 1571 to 1585. The story behind its creation is deeply spiritual. Akbar, despite all his power and wealth, was without a male heir. He made a pilgrimage on foot to the village of Sikri to seek the blessings of a Sufi mystic, Sheikh Salim Chishti. The saint blessed him, and soon a son was born, who was named Salim, later to become Emperor Jahangir. In gratitude, Akbar decided to build his new capital right there, a magnificent city of red sandstone. Fatehpur Sikri is a masterpiece of planning and a stunning example of Akbar's syncretic vision. Here you see a seamless blend of Mughal, Persian, and indigenous Indian architectural styles. It's a physical manifestation of Akbar's policy of religious tolerance and his interest in creating a unified culture. The structures here are not just buildings, they are dialogues between different traditions, frozen in stone. Let's walk through some of its incredible structures. There's the Diwani Khas, with its unique central pillar, a marvel of design, where Akbar would hold discussions with scholars of different faiths. There's the Taj Mahal, a 5-storied palatial structure that looks almost like a Buddhist vihara, designed to catch the breeze. And then there's the stunning tomb of Salim Chishti, a beautiful structure of white marble that seems to float within the courtyard of the Jama Masjid. People of all faiths still come here to tie a thread and make a wish, a tradition that has continued for centuries. But here's the mystery, Dosto. This grand, meticulously planned city was abandoned after only 14 years. Why would an emperor abandon his dream capital? The official reason is a shortage of water, which is a plausible explanation. But some historians speculate there were other political and strategic reasons too. The city was left to the elements, becoming a perfectly preserved ghost town. Walking through its empty palaces and courtyards, you can almost hear the echoes of the bustling imperial court, a sudden silence that is both eerie and beautiful. Fatehpur Sikri is more than just a ruin, it's a snapshot of a visionary emperor's mind. It represents a fleeting moment in history when dialogue, tolerance, and cultural fusion were the guiding principles of an empire. It's a lesson in ambition, spirituality, and perhaps the impermanence of even the grandest of human designs. To walk its silent streets is to connect with the spirit of Akbar, one of the most fascinating figures in our history, and to ponder the what-ifs of a dream that was abandoned too soon. Dosto, let's travel south now, to the heart of the Deccan, to the city of Hyderabad. And here, standing proud amidst the bustling chaos of the old city, is its most famous icon, the Charminar. The name literally translates to 4 minarets. This monument is not just the symbol of Hyderabad, it is the very reason for its existence. The story goes that in 1591, Muhammad Quli Qutb Shah, the 5th ruler of the Qutb Shahi dynasty, shifted his capital from the congested Golconda fort to a new, planned city. The reason for building this specific monument, right at the city center, is a fascinating mix of history and legend. The most popular theory is that it was built to commemorate the end of a deadly plague that had ravaged the city. Quli Qutb Shah is said to have prayed for the end of the epidemic, and when his prayers were answered, he built this monument as a tribute at the very spot where he had prayed. In this sense, the Charminar is a monument of gratitude, a symbol of hope and deliverance from suffering. Architecturally, it's a beautiful example of Indo-Islamic design with distinct Persian influences. It's a grand square structure with 4 magnificent arches facing the 4 cardinal directions. Each corner is graced by a towering, intricately carved minaret, which gives the monument its name. There's a small mosque on the top floor, and it's said that in its heyday, the area around it was a thriving market, with the 4 arches leading to roads that connected the city to different trade routes. It was the nucleus around which the city of Hyderabad grew. But my friends, the Charminar is more than just its history. It's a living, breathing part of the city. The area around it is a vibrant, chaotic, and utterly captivating bazaar. The air is thick with the smell of Irani chai and biryani, the sound of vendors hawking pearls and bangles, and the constant hum of traffic and people. The monument is not isolated in a sterile complex. It is woven into the very fabric of daily life. To experience the Charminar, is to experience the raw, unfiltered energy of old Hyderabad. So when you see the Charminar, don't just see a 400-year-old structure. See it as a symbol of a city's birth, a monument of faith and gratitude. See it as the heart of a vibrant culture that has flourished around it for centuries. It stands as a testament to the vision of its founder and remains the undeniable soul of Hyderabad, a beacon of history amidst the whirlwind of modern life. It's a place where the past is not just remembered, it is lived every single day. My friends, prepare to have your minds blown. We are now heading to a place that feels like it belongs on another planet. The Ajanta and Ellora caves in Maharashtra. These are not buildings that were constructed. They are entire temples and monasteries that were sculpted, top down, out of a single solid rock face. The sheer scale, the ambition, the artistry, it's something that modern engineering would struggle to replicate. This is a testament to the devotion and skill of ancient Indian artisans, monks, and patrons. Let's first talk about Ajanta. It's a series of about 30 rock-cut Buddhist cave monuments that date from the 2nd century BCE to about 480 CE. What makes Ajanta globally famous are its murals. These are the finest surviving examples of ancient Indian painting. Stepping into these dark caves, a flashlight reveals walls covered in vibrant, expressive paintings that tell the Jataka tales, stories of the Buddha's previous lives. The emotions on the faces, the details of the clothing, the depictions of courtly life, it's like a visual library of ancient India, preserved in the dark for centuries. Then, about 100 kilometers away, you have Ellora. Ellora is a different kind of miracle. Its 34 caves were carved out between the 6th and 10th centuries and are a stunning symbol of religious harmony. Here, you find caves dedicated to Buddhism, Hinduism, and Jainism, all existing side by side. It shows a period of Indian history where these different faiths coexisted peacefully, sharing not just a geographical space, but an artistic and spiritual one as well. It's a powerful message of tolerance carved in stone for eternity. The undisputed masterpiece of Ellora is Cave 16, the Kailasa Temple. Dosto, I want you to try and comprehend this. This is the world's largest single monolithic excavation. Artisans started at the top of a cliff and carved their way down, scooping out an estimated 200,000 tons of rock to reveal a massive multi-storied temple complex dedicated to Lord Shiva. It has courtyards, halls, massive sculptures of deities, and intricate panels depicting scenes from the Ramayana and Mahabharata. It wasn't built, it was revealed from the rock. It's an act of pure, unadulterated devotion and cosmic imagination. Visiting Ajanta and Ellora is a profoundly spiritual and humbling experience. It makes you question the limits of human capability and the power of faith. How did they do it? With simple chisels and hammers? What kind of devotion drove them to spend lifetimes carving in the dark? These caves are not just archaeological sites, they are sacred spaces. They are a gateway into the minds of our ancestors, a direct connection to the deep spiritual currents that have always flowed through this land. A journey here is a journey into the very heart of ancient India's soul. Friends, our next stop takes us to a place that is often misunderstood, a place of incredible beauty and profound philosophy. The Khajuraho group of monuments in Madhya Pradesh. Built by the Chandela dynasty between the 9th and 11th centuries, these temples are famous, or perhaps infamous, for their explicit erotic carvings. But to focus only on that is to miss the entire point. These temples are a celebration of life in all its forms, spiritual, intellectual, and physical. The architecture itself is a masterpiece of the Nagara style, characterized by its soaring spires or shikaras that rise like mountain peaks, symbolizing Mount Kailash, the abode of the gods. The temples are built on high platforms, bringing them closer to the divine realm. The walls are covered from top to bottom with an incredible density of sculptures. You see gods and goddesses, celestial beings, warriors, musicians, animals, and scenes of daily life. It's a complete tapestry of medieval Indian existence, carved with breathtaking skill and fluidity. Now let's address the erotic sculptures. Dosto, it's important to understand the context. In ancient Indian thought, especially in tantric traditions, the physical and the spiritual were not seen as separate. The union of the male and female principles was seen as a metaphor for the ultimate union of the human soul with the divine. These carvings were not meant to be titillating. They were a philosophical statement. They represent a worldview where the body is not something to be ashamed of, but a vehicle for spiritual transcendence. They are placed on the outer walls, representing the worldly distractions one must leave behind before entering the pure, spiritual sanctum of the temple. The main temples, like the Kandariya Mahadeva temple dedicated to Lord Shiva, are designed to be a cosmic journey. As you walk through the successive halls, each one higher and more ornate than the last, you are symbolically moving from the mundane world towards the divine. The climax of this journey is reaching the inner sanctum, the Garbhagriha, or womb chamber, where the deity resides in a dark, quiet space, perfect for introspection and meditation. It's a masterclass in architectural storytelling. So when you visit Khajuraho, I urge you to look beyond the sensationalism. See the incredible artistry, the fluid movement in stone, the sheer joy and vitality captured by the sculptors. See the philosophical depth and the celebration of life in its totality. These temples are not about lust, they are about life, about the beautiful and complex dance between the human and the divine. Khajuraho represents a mature, confident culture that was unafraid to explore all aspects of the human experience. My friends, we now return to a bustling metropolis, Mumbai, and to a monument that has stood as its most recognizable landmark for a century. The Gateway of India. Overlooking the vast expanse of the Arabian Sea, this colossal arch is a symbol of the city itself. But its story is deeply intertwined with the history of the British Raj in India. It was built to commemorate the landing of King George V and Queen Mary in 1911, the first British monarch to ever visit India. It was intended to be a grand imperial welcome gate. The architecture is a fine example of the Indo-Saracenic style, a blend of a Roman triumphal arch with elements of 16th century Gujarati architecture. It's a fusion style that the British often used to legitimize their rule, incorporating Indian elements into their imperial structures. The foundation stone was laid in 1911, but the final structure was only completed in 1924. For a few decades, it served its purpose as a ceremonial entrance for governors and other prominent figures of the British Raj, a symbol of their power and permanence. But dosto, history has a funny way of turning things on their head. The very monument that was built to welcome the British monarch became the site of their final departure. In 1948, a year after India gained independence, the last of the British troops, the 1st Battalion of the Somerset Light Infantry, ceremonially marched through the Gateway of India as they left the country for good. The symbol of imperial entry became the symbol of colonial exit. It's a powerful and poignant irony that gives the monument a whole new layer of meaning for us. Today, the Gateway of India is a vibrant public space. It's a meeting point for people from all walks of life: tourists, locals, street vendors, photographers. It's the starting point for ferries heading to the Elephanta Caves, another historic site. It stands there, a silent witness to the city's relentless energy, the gentle lapping of the waves on one side and the chaotic symphony of Mumbai on the other. It has been the backdrop for historic events, public gatherings, and countless personal memories. So when you stand before the Gateway of India, you're standing before a monument with a dual identity. It represents the grandeur and arrogance of the British Empire, but it also represents the triumphant moment of their departure and the dawn of our freedom. It's a reminder that symbols can be reclaimed, that their meanings can evolve, and that history is not a static story, but a continuous conversation between the past and the present. It is, in every sense, the gateway to the complex story of modern India. Dosto, from one gate of Mumbai, we travel to another in Delhi, but this one has a very different and much more solemn purpose: India Gate. Standing at the heart of Lutyens, Delhi, at the end of the Grand Rajpath, this monument is not a celebration of victory or empire. It is a memorial, a place of remembrance. It was designed by Sir Edwin Lutyens and unveiled in 1931 to honor the 84,000 soldiers of the British Indian Army who died in the First World War and the Third Anglo-Afghan War. When you get closer, the emotional weight of this monument becomes clear. Inscribed on its walls are the names of over 13,000 soldiers. Reading those names, Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, you realize the scale of the sacrifice. These were our people, men from villages and towns across undivided India, who fought and died in faraway lands in a war that wasn't their own. India Gate is a solemn reminder of the human cost of conflict and the role our soldiers played on the world stage. Architecturally, it's often compared to the Arc de Triomphe in Paris, but its spirit is uniquely Indian. But my friends, the story of India Gate doesn't end there. In 1971, after the Bangladesh Liberation War, another structure was added beneath the arch, the Amar Jawan Jyoti, the flame of the immortal soldier. It consisted of a black marble plinth with a reversed rifle capped by a war helmet, and an eternal flame that burned day and night. For 50 years, this flame was a powerful symbol of our nation's gratitude to every soldier who laid down their life for a free India. It was a sacred place where the nation paid its respects. In 2022, a significant change occurred. The eternal flame of the Amar Jawan Jyoti was merged with the flame at the newly constructed National War Memorial, located just a short distance away. And under the canopy that once held a statue of King George V, a grand statue of Netaji Subhas Chandra Bose was installed. This act represents another evolution in the monument's identity, connecting the sacrifices of the colonial era with the heroes of our own freedom struggle and the soldiers of modern India. Visiting India Gate, especially in the evening when it's beautifully illuminated and the lawns are filled with families, is a powerful experience. It's a place of national pride, of quiet reflection, and of deep gratitude. It stands as a timeless tribute to the unnamed and named heroes who made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation. It is not just a monument of stone and mortar, it is a repository of memory, a symbol of our collective debt to the brave souls who protect us. My friends, for our final stop, we journey to a place that feels like a different world, a landscape from a fantasy epic. Hampi, located in Karnataka on the banks of the Tungabhadra River, Hampi is not a single monument but the sprawling, magnificent ruins of an entire city. This was the capital of the Vijayanagara Empire, one of the greatest empires in Indian history, which flourished from the 14th to the 16th century. At its peak, it was one of the largest and richest cities in the world. The landscape of Hampi is surreal. It's a bizarre, beautiful terrain of giant granite boulders, precariously balanced on top of each other as if placed by giants. And scattered amongst these boulders are the ruins of over 1,600 surviving structures, temples, palaces, markets, fortifications, and aquatic structures. Walking or cycling through Hampi is like exploring an open-air museum of immense scale. Every boulder, every pillar seems to have a story to tell. Let's talk about some of the highlights. There's the Virupaksha temple, one of the oldest and most important temples, which is still an active place of worship. There's the Vitala temple complex, the absolute pinnacle of Vijayanagara art, which houses the famous stone chariot. This chariot is actually a shrine, and its wheels were once capable of turning. The temple also has the incredible musical pillars, which resonate with different musical notes when tapped gently. It's an acoustic and architectural marvel that baffles engineers to this day. The glory of Hampi came to a tragic and abrupt end in 1565. The empire was defeated by a confederacy of Deccan sultanates in the Battle of Talikota. The victorious armies then descended upon the capital and for 6 months systematically destroyed, looted, and burned it to the ground. The city was abandoned and fell into ruin, its glory forgotten for centuries. What we see today are the skeletal remains of that immense grandeur, a haunting reminder of the impermanence of power. But Dosto, Hampi is not a place of sadness. There is a powerful spiritual energy that still vibrates through these ruins. Sitting on a hilltop, watching the sunset paint the boulder-strewn landscape in hues of orange and pink, you feel a deep sense of peace and timelessness. It's a place that teaches you about history, art, and the cycles of creation and destruction. Hampi is the ghost of a glorious past, a testament to a lost civilization whose spirit still whispers on the wind. It's a fitting end to our journey, a place that truly captures the epic scale of India's history. Dosto, what an incredible journey this has been. From the eternal love of the Taj Mahal to the haunting ruins of Hampi, we have traveled through thousands of years of our history. We've stood in the footsteps of emperors, prayed in the caves of ancient monks, and felt the pulse of our nation's story in stone and marble. But remember, my friends, watching this video is just the beginning. The real magic happens when you go and experience these places for yourself. The energy, the atmosphere, the spiritual vibrations, that's something no camera can truly capture. It's a feeling that can only be experienced firsthand. I genuinely encourage you, whenever you get the chance, to pack your bags and visit at least one of these incredible sites. Go there not just as a tourist, but as a pilgrim on a journey to connect with your own roots. Stand there, close your eyes, and listen to the stories the stones have to tell. It's an experience that will enrich you, humble you, and give you a much deeper appreciation for the incredible land we call home. Our history is not just in books, it is alive and waiting for you in these magnificent monuments. Thank you so much for joining me on this exploration of India's heritage. This journey was as much for me as it was for you. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these monuments resonates with you the most? Is there a place that holds a special meaning for you? Let me know in the comments below. I love reading your stories and perspectives. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep connecting with the deep, profound soul of India. Namaste.